Joan, I told you, no dancing. All right. Just sit there and, don't get caught up with the music. Hey, welcome to the Sicilian Corner, everybody. My name is Mike. Cousin Lou is sitting on the board. You look good today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Everything's under control.
Seemingly.
More or less.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Hey, look who joined us today.
I know.
Talk about having responsibilities. My God. I was Joan Hatem-Roy.
Hi, Mike.
Hello. Hello. You have done so well for yourself. And I've known you through your husband, Jack. Jack has played many roles at the St. Delphio Society, and our paths have crossed frequently. And it's so good to look and see everything that you've accomplished. I mean, you've been in the social field for how many years?
40 years this year.
Were you six?
I
when
was,
you started?
yeah, absolutely.
Just about?
Absolutely.
By the way, congratulations. On Saturday's Tribune, I saw quite a few members of your staff and the pictures Tribune did in the stepping out section. And it's amazing. How many people work out of your Lawrence facility?
So out of Lawrence, we have about 360. And then we have an office in Danvers, and there's about 130, 140 out of the Danvers office.
And they're under your umbrella?
Yep. So we have about 504 employees and 350 volunteers. So
Roseanne DeStefano must be going crazy.
She loves it. She loves sitting back and watching. She really does.
She must be enjoying that. I know she just got back. She was in Italy not too long ago. What a wonderful lady. And listen, Joan runs and heads up. You're the chief executive officer of AgeSpan, which was elder services back in the day. I think in 21, I think you changed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What year is this? Yeah, 23. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Trust me.
You already did your homework.
Trust the kid. Trust the kid. No.
My numbers get blurred.
The services that you perform, I mean, I had no clue until I started doing some prep for the show. I did not realize how many branches there are to AgeSpan.
It's a lot.
It's unbelievable.
We're the best kept secret.
Well, I don't think you're a well-kept secret anymore, because there's so many people out there that need help. The elderly seems like an afterthought today. I mean, you look at the benefits that come down, even to people that are here illegally, and you look at someone who has dedicated their life to make America what it is, and most of them were immigrants that came into this country legally. It says, what's wrong with this picture to me? And something, I'm so glad that there's facilities out there that offer services that many of us do not know. I used elder services for my mom and a little bit for my dad, but my mother a lot. And I was very impressed. And living in New Hampshire, we were talking about this, Joan, before we went on the air. And living in New Hampshire, the benefit packages are minimal compared to what you can say. Massachusetts, call it whatever you want. I mean, I was born in Lawrence, but I've lived in Wyndham for close to 40 years. But the benefits, they're nowhere near. Yeah. If you were to say AgeSpan's mission statement, what would that be?
So our elevator speech could be like 3 paragraphs long, because we do a lot. And I think, you mentioned about the fact that we changed our name. We did change our name, and primarily because,
Why?
Well, first of all, as you mentioned, we have a huge breadth and scope of what we do. And what people don't really understand is we're not just about serving older adults anymore.
No, I know.
We have programs that range from, all families, from 3-year-olds all the way up. We like to get people in early so that they understand. So if you were to just capsulize our mission, it's really about letting individuals live independently in the community, in the environment that they choose, whether that be in their homes, whether that be in assisted living, but to give people the resources that they need to be able to stay independent as long as possible.
That's so important. As you and I were talking earlier, very shortly, I'm going to be 79 years old. I mean, age has no respect. I don't care how much money you have or who you think you are, whatever title you have, age does not slow down. 1 year leads to another. 1 week, 1 minute it's Monday, next minute it's Friday. It go, and it's not right. It's not right. I mean, I think the older you get, the scale should slow down a little bit.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you're 5 years old and your nana would come up to me and say, Mikey, how old are you now? Even if I was like 5 years and 3 months, I'm almost 6.
Right.
You know what I mean? You always, now you'd like to turn around and say, Jesus,
I'm almost 40.
Yeah, go the other way. Go the other way. I had an opportunity, Joan, to visit a relative, and he's in assisted living, and I couldn't believe how happy. This has made such a change to him, and the people that are there, they have fun. I mean, they're talking, how are you? Don't forget we got bingo at 2:00, whatever, and it offers 3 meals, and they have room to play cards in. They have an exercise room. They actually have a little movie theater in there with the big chairs.
Nice.
And a popcorn machine.
Yeah.
And it's brand new. It's here in Methuen. And I said to myself, Jesus, I don't know if I could adapt to assisted living, because I like being out too much. I like puttering the yard. It's going to come to a point where I can't do it. But my point to all of this is I try to make my house mic-proof. And climbing on ladders now is a serious issue for me.
Yeah.
And, I had the gutters put in that the leaves don't get in it. So I don't have to be a maniac trying to get up there and take care of that.
That's smart.
Going out at 1:30 in the morning because the power's out. I had a gas generator, going to get 7 5-gallon containers. I mean, I got myself a full house generator, and that thing goes on and off. It's a Generac, Lou. It's amazing. I don't know how it works, but this thing, it's incredible. But it's
I just hope that Jack Roy is listening to this about the generator, Jack Roy, because we've had this discussion.
Too many blackouts for you?
We do get them,
Yeah.
but I say the same thing. It's got to be something that I can just put a switch and do it myself, because you're smart to think about aging in place.
Forget the switch. This thing knows as soon as that power is cut, it's like your light will flick.
Yeah.
And you're running on generator.
Wow.
It's the only thing you lose is maybe the TV. If you're watching the TV, it has to reboot.
Yeah.
And your microwave clock. And when the power comes back on, you don't know whether your generator is still running, because the transition is so smooth. I'll have Jack get in touch with me. I'll tell him where I bought mine, and the service. Once a year they come out, they take care of it. And mine is so big. I mean, I could literally do half of another house, but peace of mind. Yeah. Putting in banisters. We have one of our listeners.
There you go, Mikey. Sell your generator service to your neighbor. Just
Yeah.
run a cable over there. Get some money out of this.
Well, we had a situation where I live. It's relatively close to Canopy, and the ground is very high in water content. And the people next door lost their power, and of course they can't run their sump pump, so they started getting water. So I have an extension cord that's waterproof, and I hooked it up to me, and
There you go.
and that sump pump sucks up a lot of juice. that thing didn't lose a beat. It just hummed
Nice.
like it was just normal. So tell Jack.
Yeah, he will.
You
He will.
insist.
Well, but you make a good point, and I think that's when it's so important to start thinking about aging in place. I don't care how old you are. If you're in your 40s or your 50s, look around your house. Imagine I might not be able to walk up those stairs. I might not be able to carry the gas tank to start the generator. I might not be able to do all of these things that I used to do. It's never too late to start looking at that.
Absolutely. And putting banisters in, that was a necessity for me.
Yeah.
And it makes my life a lot easier. My house is a tri-level, so we have a lot of not a lot, but I mean, there's steps that lead from the TV room up to the kitchen, from the kitchen up to the bedroom.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's fantastic, and you're thinking in the right direction. And if you can get that into the heads of some people, because living at home, I think your lifespan can be extended. To be honest with you, Lou.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
I mean, to me, I would be totally. For some people, it's wonderful, but for me, it's not my particular bag. Age span. Are there other agencies called Age Span in Massachusetts? Or are you the only?
So first, I just want to make one comment about this is because
This is your show.
October,
You can make two.
I can make two. October is actually Ageism Awareness Month. And which really, and you saw in our 50th anniversary of 50 on the Field, we're really starting this campaign about raising awareness of just because age is a number, it doesn't have to define anything negative about yourself. You have people who you're doing a lot more than some people in their 20s, right? And so and you mentioned earlier when we started talking about how we don't have that same level of respect for our older adults as we used to when with our grandparents. And so we really have to start reaching a point that, age is, you can be anything at any age if you want it to be.
Okay. So what qualifications does someone have to have, whether they're in their 50s or in their 80s, to become underneath the umbrella of Age Span?
Okay, so to answer your question about we have two designations. We're an area agency on aging, which is a federal designation that allows us to get federal dollars in. And in Massachusetts, which is different than other states, we have a designation is called an Aging Service Access Point. And that allows us to get money in to be able to provide care to people in their homes to keep them independent as long as possible. So there are 23 other sister organizations like myself across the state of Massachusetts.
23.
Yes. We're the largest in Massachusetts. And certainly in some of the other states, we're the largest AAA. We call it AAA. It's not the automotive across the country. But so you could be anywhere in the state and get the same services that I'll talk about today. And to your point about age and what eligibility, we have so many programs and so many services that we just tell people, call us. Get to know us before you need us. And that, I think, is a critical point. You don't want to wait until, we get calls, from society members or my relatives or friends. My mother, I can tell she's not doing well. She's not eating good. She's unsteady on, not my mother.
Okay.
But, and what should I do about this? And just call us. Sometimes it's just getting a meal every day into their home. Sometimes it's just understanding what we do. So going on our website and understanding the breadth and scope of services. Primarily the services in the home, there's three criteria. Age, which is 60. Need.
There is 60. 60 is the bottom.
Yeah, on some of the state funded services. 60. Need, you have to have unmet needs, and you have to be income eligible. And so, but again, it's so broad, and we have sliding scales, and we have all kinds of things. So don't discount us just because you think, oh, you know what, I make too much money, or I don't have enough issues that are going on. Call us. We have a staff of about eight or 9 people who that's their job. They listen, they answer the phone, and they navigate you through whatever you may need. And I also tell people, you may have a relative in Florida or New Hampshire or another part of the country. We have the resource database that can help guide you through some of those other states.
Seriously.
And make referrals to other states.
Wow.
So it's one call, and we have an amazing staff who will take you through whatever you need to know. If we have a service that we offer ourselves, then they'll make a referral. And what happens once that referral is made is we have social workers, we call them care managers, who will go out into the field, go into the home, assess everything. Like you were talking about banisters. Is the bathroom on the first floor? Is it on the second floor? What's the driveway like? Is it safe? All these different things. And they'll create a care plan. And that'll be services that can come in the home. It could be a homemaker who comes in a couple of hours a week. It could be Meals on Wheels. It could be somebody to come do the laundry, the grocery shopping, PERS, the emergency response, transportation. The services go on and on.
Wow.
So that really is what I do encourage people. We will send our amazing social workers out into the field to say, what do you need? And start the.
So they evaluate.
Yep.
And they draw up a plan.
They draw up a plan.
Is there a time limit as to some of the aid that you can get in the house? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months?
So what's interesting and what people might not understand about us too is we're not insurance based, right? So let's say you go into the hospital, someone breaks a hip, they go into a rehab, they're ready to come home.
Yeah.
The rehab will call in the visiting nurses, and those are medical people. Those are registered nurses who will come in. They may have catheters. They may have wounds. They're
part of HSPAN?
They are not.
They're
That's a separate organization. But at the same time, they'll call us in. Now, we have nurses, we have social workers, but our nurses really are about assessing and monitoring. So we work in tandem with the health system. We're very much a part of the health system.
Okay.
So when the visiting nurse is ready to go out because the insurance is run out and you're stable, then we pick up from there.
Wow.
So there is no time. We have consumers who have been consumers for 20 something years.
I'm loving this. I really am. And I'm sure a lot of people out there that are listening are getting some ideas. And that's what this show is all about, awareness. Our telephone number, 978-659-0072. Call up, ask Joan any question you'd like. And we're going to take a break right now, Lou, and we'll be back momentarily.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's, honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner. Joan Hatem-Roy. She runs the show over at Age Span, And like I said to you earlier, I can't believe the different facets of age span. It amazes me, things that I didn't know. Let's assume Aunt Grace is out there and she feels that she could qualify for some help in the house because she wants to stay home as long as possible. Could you walk us through that process, what she has to do and where it goes?
Absolutely. So the first thing, as I said, is to call our information and referral department.
And that number is?
978-683-7747. 978-683-7747.
Oh, listen to this. You said it twice like you're supposed to. Wow.
That's
Louis.
because I can't write down that fast. So
Lou.
That's
I'm
smart, yeah.
Hey, girlfriend, I'm impressed.
I have learned a few things over the years. The other thing is, if somebody has access to the internet, our website, when we rebranded, we redid our whole website. So everything is on that website, and that's www.agespan.org. That's www.agespan.org. And that can help you figure out just kind of the things that we offer. But the easiest way is to pick up the phone, call, and ask for the information referral department. As I said, we have 8 to 9 staff, bilingual staff. They're amazing at the information that they know. You'll talk to either Allie or Andrew or Millie, and just start telling them what's going on with you. I'm having a hard time walking. My daughter just moved, to 2 states over. She used to do my grocery shopping. I need somebody to come in and help me clean or laundry.
Yeah.
So you tell them all that information, and they're going to ask a series of questions. They're going to ask, what your age is, what your address is, what your income, and again,
This is all income based, right? Is the amount of services you're going to get?
So what I tell people is, don't let that prevent you from calling, because again, we have a whole income scale. So certainly if you're income eligible, you can get your service package for free. So if you have low income, you have very limited income, a lot of these services are free, but you may be some of those people that are just over. You might have had a pension from AT&T, and that puts you just over the limit.
Ouch.
So we have a sliding fee scale.
Okay.
And the thing about the sliding fee scale is you pay one fee a month. And that encompasses your whole service plan. So don't let the eligibility prevent you from calling. The other thing I want to mention too is caregivers. We have a huge amount of resources for people who are actually caring for older adults. And those services are all free. There's no charge for those kind of services. So you call, you tell them the story.
You're talking caregivers through age span?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People who are caring for an older adult.
Okay, but so they're volunteering.
No, these might be a daughter, son, spouse.
Okay, like I was taking care of Lucille.
Yes.
And let me tell you,
we call them the informal caregivers.
Okay, being a caregiver is so hard.
Yeah,
it really is. I was telling you about my mother-in-law. She was going to be 98 years old, and we kept her home right up until one night before she passed. And that wasn't easy because she could only eat small amounts. So you're making like 5 meals a day, basically. And, but I felt, when all was said and done, you look at my in-laws, you look at my parents, and when all was said and done, it was a very rewarding to have them pass away in their own home without being in, say, a hospital environment or a nursing home environment. And that, to me, nobody can ever take that away from me. It meant a great deal to me.
And that's why we really make a really strong effort to support those people who are providing those care. Sometimes it's a neighbor who is just, coming over every day and making sure that the person is okay. There's a lot. We need to support those people because they are the crux of the support network, because as many times as we can put people into the homes to help them, family caregivers really are the basis of what we need to support. So after somebody calls, they take this information, they determine what that person needs. It may be a referral. We may send you information. We may have somebody call you back. But if you qualify and it looks like you're eligible for services in the home, we will have a care manager who will call you in a few days and set up a time to come into your house and visit you. And that is really important because there's nothing like the eyes and ears in the home. Sometimes, somebody says, no, I'm fine. I live independently. I don't need anybody help. I just want somebody to bring me a meal. And then you get to the home and there's clutter, there's fall hazards, there's all kinds of things.
Personal hygiene
so
issues.
It's very important that we go in, we see that person, we sit down with them, we do a very in-depth assessment. We do a home safety assessment, we do, caregiver assessment, resources, and then medical, get all your medications, all of that. And then based on that, there'll be a recommended care plan. And that will be maybe somebody like a homemaker to come in, meals, and those.
But if a home physically, I mentioned banisters, or a grab bar in your shower, do you?
So we have resources that could go out there and do those assessments. Some of those things could be covered from insurance. Some of those things we have, actually, it's the DeStefano family.
When you say
Fund.
insurance, whose insurance?
The individual's insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you have a medical need for like a hospital bed or
Yes.
something. So the care manager will walk you through all that. We have durable medical equipment contracts, and they will send somebody out there to go in and they would provide all that kind of resource. The other thing I think that gets a little confusing is when I say that we have 504 employees and 300 volunteers, that those are really the care managers.
That number,
that go in.
300 volunteers?
350 plus.
I'd like to know how you get that.
Yeah.
Boy,
we got great people. And it's good programs.
300 volunteers, they don't get paid?
No, they do this out of the goodness of their hearts.
I know,
And
Tommy. I know Tommy Zappler isn't one of them. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'll put in a plug for our volunteers, especially
Absolutely.
the Meals on Wheels volunteer. These people go and do that meal delivery, and they get as much rewards. And we have a story, and I don't know, it's on our website, of a person who actually called, and she was on the floor having a heart attack, and it was the Meals on Wheels driver that saw her, called 911, got her the help. And she says, this Meals on Wheels driver saved my life. And it's her actual voice on the call. So you have to listen to it, or I'll send you the link after this. But back to,
I actually saw it.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's really, and I wanted people to know, like, this wasn't an actor. This was really true.
My dad, after my mom passed, my dad was living by himself for a while. Then he moved in with me. But I had Meals on Wheels. And I don't think he really wanted it, but I insisted on it. And he got to have a relationship with this driver. His name was Bob in North Andover. Mm-hmm. And a couple of times Bob would call me because I was the contact information. And he'd say, I don't know if you've seen your dad in the last couple of days, but, there's something not right with him right now. He's had this cough and this cold and it was like, heads up for me.
Yeah.
It was like I was almost there.
Yeah.
And when my dad passed,
helpful. Yeah.
He came to the wake. My father loved him, and he'd drop by the house sometimes just to come over for a glass of beer.
Yeah.
Which
and we call it more than a meal. You'll hear the stories of like, oh, I want to feed it to my cat. I don't like the food, but it's so much more than a meal. And those Meals on Wheels drivers have to set eyes on that person. They don't just drop it in the door and take off and run.
So they're trained.
We recruit all these volunteers. They're just, it's amazing. Our agency, we're set to serve 1 million meals a year right now. That's how many meals that we're going to be serving. We're almost at the million meal mark.
Just your facility?
Just by
Danvers and Lawrence?
Yeah. So now, again, what I want to point out, which I think is important. So we have this staff, we have these volunteers, but our downstream providers, so we contract with over 100 providers to provide these in-services. So our workers aren't the ones going in and doing the house cleaning and the grocery shopping. We contract with
outsource
all of the amazing provider network of about 100 providers. And they're the Meals on Wheels. There's we have a caterer, we have homemaker providers, we have home health aid providers, All of those.
Okay.
So we manage all those contracts. The money comes in through the state. We pay those providers, and they're the ones that actually do the work in the home.
Someday I'd like to come in and see your office.
Oh, they have a beautiful
I
office.
can't. I'm sure you do,
Yeah.
but I can't even imagine what your desk must look like.
I have the view of the football field now, as you saw on the thing. It's a wonderful thing. So that's what'll happen. And then what happens is once the care plan is in place, the care manager sets it all up. They tell them what's going to happen. Now, I do want to say right now, and this isn't new to, I'm sure your listeners, workforce is a challenge. Everybody is struggling to find workers, and we're no different. At one point, we had a wait list, people waiting to get services in their home of somewhere around 600.
Wow.
I'm happy to report now, with all the work that our staff is doing in our provider network, and we've raised salaries, we've done a lot of things to get that number down, but it's like 200. So that's really still a lot.
That's kicking a dent in.
But it's much better. And a lot of that, sometimes, remember, we serve 28 cities and towns. So we serve.
Is Lowell included?
We have Lowell all the way to Dunstable.
Okay.
All the way to Dunstable, all the way to Rowley, all the way to Marblehead. And then, certainly the areas within America.
We take the city of Lawrence, and probably 84% of the city of Lawrence is probably Latino, Spanish. You look at Lowell, very strong Southeast Asia influence. The food that they eat is totally different than what. So the Meals on Wheels, is it tailored? How does that work?
So we have culturally tailored meals. And so, we have culturally tailored meals, and we have medically tailored meals. Now today, I want you
have
to
eggplant palm.
Yeah, we might have excellent. We have to say they're healthy meals. We have to make sure they meet all of these criteria. So certainly, and today, you'll see a post that there's a podcast about a restaurant pilot that we're doing, because we're trying to say to, you don't want somebody to just get their meals delivered at home. We want people to live just like you and I. So there's
a lot of people out there, Joan, that worked hard all their lives. They can't afford to go to a restaurant twice.
Exactly. So we got a grant from the federal for this administration of community living. We're partnering right now. We're partnering with 2 restaurants, Khmer restaurants in Lowell, and now we're just starting our next restaurant pilot with Cafe Azteca. And
good choice.
This is for different populations, and they'll get 2 vouchers a month, and they can go into that restaurant with that voucher, order on the
by
menu.
themselves or with family members.
Well, the meal will be for them.
Okay. All right.
And so we have the greatest stories. You have to look at this.
I'll have to.
It brings tears to my eyes. Like, you see these people
Easy.
just getting so excited about actually eating in a restaurant, and things we take for granted, right? Like, you just take these things for granted. So,
well, that's a lot of money. I mean, you got 110 people underneath that program, and that's $33,000.
What?
You have 110 people that are eligible for that program, right? Eating
well,
out.
we're one in this year. We're targeting to get 200 people, and it's a 3-year program. So over the 3 years, we'll serve 600 people in that program.
Wow! Hey,
and
listen,
it's something different. It's a unique model. So
if we don't take a break, Mikey won't be able to eat.
Okay.
So you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
You should talk Jack into having you. He should take you to Grazie's and have a nice bite to eat, sitting outside on a nice sunny afternoon. And you're up so high, you can actually see the Prudential Center at night. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. Okay. Again, we're just touching a tip of the iceberg. But again, you mentioned volunteers. You said to me there's 300 volunteers. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's very rewarding work, and we have a lot of different opportunities for people. Certainly, we talked about the Meals on Wheels drivers, and that's something we are always looking for drivers. You could pick any schedule, you could pick any route, you could pick any, you literally, you meet, you get the meals, and you have a route, and you go deliver them, you say hello to the person, and that, to me, people really love that role. So volunteer drivers is a big volunteer. So we have all kinds of opportunities for everybody that is interested. One of the ones that we have is a money management program. So somebody who can't manage their bills. So we're not giving financial advice, but if they don't know how to pay, a typical example is a couple, and the wife always did the bills, and then she passes away, and now the husband is like, I don't even know where the checkbook is. I don't know what bills to pay. Somebody could go in and they sit down with you, and these people are bonded. They're trained volunteers.
I was just going to ask you.
And they go, see, I can read your mind.
Yeah. You're all right. You know what?
Because I said the phone number twice.
Hey, Jack, you got to keep it here.
Only if he gets a generator.
If he gets a generator, and I know a guy. Yeah.
So you would go into an elder's home once a month, get out the checkbook, look at the bills and just write out the bills. We have what we call Shine volunteers, and that's serving the health, SHINE. We just had a big training at the office today, and that's people that have done it's health insurance. So it's serving the health insurance needs of elders is what the acronym stands for, Shine. And those folks are trained in all of the different nuances of health insurance. So what happens when you turn 62 or you turn 65 and you don't know, do I do
you have to trigger
a supplemental plan? Do I not have a supplemental plan? What's the donut hole? I don't think the donut hole exists anymore. But so it gets very complicated. These people are trained, and they will sit down with you. And right now it's open enrollment. So these folks are really busy managing that. So we have caregiver volunteers that go out and help caregivers. We have a lot of different opportunities that we would just love. If you want to make a difference, you could call us and we could fit you in. The other one is our ombudsman program. So we have folks that are specially trained to go into nursing homes and assisted livings, and they meet with the residents and they just see how things are going. And if things aren't going good, the ombudsman is sort of a mediator between the resident who's living in the home and the facility. We don't go in there with a heavy hand. We really try to make sure that the needs are being met, but we're a neutral voice to ensure that the safety and well-being of people in nursing homes and assisted livings are being treated fairly.
Elderly being scammed, phone calls.
Huge.
I mean, how big of a problem, Joan, are we looking at?
I can't even tell you how horrible, how bad it is.
Really?
And the stories is heartbreaking, So I'm going to segue a little bit because I know we're tight on time to our Adult Protective Service Department. Adult Protective Services is those people that understand child protective services, the Department of Social Services. Well, when you turn 60, people are protected under the law from being physically, emotionally, financially abused, and self-neglect. So if somebody is being abused, anybody who's a professional is a mandated reporter. They have to call us and report it. But anybody can call us, and if they're concerned that somebody is being taken advantage of.
So a neighbor, whatever.
A neighbor, hospital, somebody goes into a hospital. Unfortunately, our program is one of the largest in the States. We hit 500 referrals, over 500 referrals this month, which is unheard of. And the kind of situations that you're seeing are they're horrific. That was my first job when the law passed in 1983. I was one of the first protective service worker jobs. And so my heart and soul is about this program. But they go out and they investigate whether something has happened. And if they confirm it, now these are adults. So somebody can say, you know what? I don't care that my son has taken my money, get out of my house, and we have to leave. But our work is especially trained to get people to get the help. Scams. So this is
I'm talking phone mostly.
So those fall under a different program. And so we have what we call the Senior Medicare Patrol program. It's a statewide program. And they're the ones monitoring the fraud and abuse on health plans, but also with really educating people about scams. But As soon as you educate somebody, there's a new one out, and anybody can be taken by them. So we have to be so careful.
I had a situation on my street, and I live in a very small street, not many houses. And the gentleman they said that they were holding his godson or something like that, and he had a piece. Anyway, I mean, he ended up losing $7,000, but he didn't want to tell anybody because he was totally embarrassed.
Of course.
And I can see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And up till a few years ago, his son, who has moved into the house, and he didn't even know about it.
Yeah. No, there's such a shame associated with it. But I'll tell you, they're getting so technology, so your phone can ring and it can look like it's coming from the police department.
Exactly.
And it's really a scam. Or coming from your doctor's office, and it's really a scam. So we tell people, never give private information. I don't care who it is. You never give your social security number, bank information. There's, and I think there's a lot happening that is trying to protect people, but they are figuring out ways.
It's amazing.
We have people whose whole life savings have been taken from them. And it's so sad.
Wow. I'm amazed at everything that goes on underneath the umbrella of age span. I never thought it was as big as it is. And the services you provide, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going home to Wyndham and I'm putting my house in the market. And
Come live with us.
And I'm going to move into Haverhill. Speaking of Haverhill, Mayor Ferrantini, man has served 20 years, done a great job, in my opinion. And when you're in the political eye, you can't please everybody. Mm-hmm. But I'll say one thing. He's a very, very proud to be an Italian. Mm-hmm. And I can't let this go without saying, the month of October is Italian Heritage Month. Mm-hmm. And he's a great example. He brought the Consul General in to City Hall last week, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, Lou, we're trying to get the Consul General to come in and spend an hour with us here on the Sicilian Corner.
That would be great.
And his schedule is like, you think she's busy. You should see this guy. I mean, he's unbelievable.
I can imagine.
And, but Joan, again, we can't let too much time go by. I want you to come in, because the information you're bringing out, for someone listening, they start questioning. And that's what this show is about. Mm-hmm. We're Merrimack Valley Central, and, we want to help as many people as possible. And you're a great vehicle to do that. And to your people, associates, your working associates, I'll tell you, hats off to everybody, man. I know you're steering the ship, but you're only as good as the help beneath you.
I have the best staff ever.
That's good to hear.
I have the best staff. They're just amazing.
Final words as we approach noontime. What would you like to leave with people, the final thoughts?
Well, just call us. Like I said, call us before you need us. If you think
Call us before you need us.
Yes.
Well, listen to you.
I thought of a rhyme. I don't know.
I'm guessing there's a mailing list, things like that you can get on.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have that. We have newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out. We have, if you would need it by mail, you need it by email, whatever. Go to our website. There's places to sign up. I just want to mention we are having a fundraiser. I'm going to give the information so you could to help people with their pets.
Oh.
It's called The Power of Pets. We're very fortunate that we have a sponsor called Beowulf Brewery in Amesbury, and they're hosting this for us. And what that fundraiser is going to do, because we don't have funds for this, is that people can get up to $300 a year to help with their veterinary care,
Shots and whatnot.
whatever, just to keep their pets healthy, because pets reduce healthcare costs by, I have the stats, like $1.2 billion between social
Seriously?
isolation, mental health, physical activity, all the things that our pets bring to us. And we feel like if we don't, and social isolation is such a big thing since the pandemic. So by supporting pets and helping people with their pets, we're helping older adults live healthier lives. And
It
that's
sounds
really
like a
what we
great
do.
program, because people, if Aunt Grace has a cat, that cat is her whole life.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's a good program.
Yeah.
And I can't believe how much money it saves on the other.
Yeah,
on the
it
other,
really is
on the other
amazing.
side. Joan, it's time for us to say arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
And I want to thank you once again for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thanks for having me.
Listen,
was fun.
everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Get a chance, take a look at the foliage and all that good stuff. I wish people wouldn't jam the highway so much and you could really enjoy it. But you know something? It is what it is. And I'm glad we live in New England. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week, same time. And something, I hope you can join us in conversation and join the chat. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Joan.
Bye-bye.